Welcome to Our Devil. Today we are taking a look at r/entitled Parents. Our first story is from The Phantom of LaRue. Apparently I'm not supposed to take my dog into pet stores. So today I had to take my dog to the vet for her semi-annual blood test. She absolutely loves going to the vet and was super excited to go play with all the tech's smiley face. Afterwards we walked to the pet store just down the street because she's definitely on the nice list and deserves a new toy for Christmas. Now my dog is an Akita. So she's pretty big and I understand that she's a little scary looking. She's also super gentle and seems to understand that kids especially can be intimidated by her. So when she sees new people she won't run up to them but she will get excited and start wagging her tail, which is adorable because it's a curly cinnamon roll. As a result, I don't feel the need to do anything like pull her away from scared people. I honestly think that only makes things worse because she'll always wait for them to come up to her anyways. So we walk into the store and it's pretty quiet. We are just heading towards dog toys and my dog is laser focused on the table of treats. A mom and her kid walk past and he points to my dog and calls it a wolf. Her face is all black and she's big enough that this isn't really a stretch. The mom then stops me and the following conversation happened. "Lady. Excuse me. That breed is banned. You can't bring it in here." Me. "I'm pretty sure the store doesn't have a banned breed list. It's a pet store." "Lady. That's a wolf hybrid and it's scaring my kid. You need to leave me. I'm sorry your kid is afraid of dogs. But she's not a wolf hybrid and she's not bothering you." This whole time we're still standing next to the treat table so the dog hasn't moved an inch closer to them. She's just staring at the food with her tail wagging. "Lady. My son is scared. You two need to leave." Me. "No." At this point my dog decided that these must be new friends. She took a step towards them with her tail still wagging at top speed. She stretched her head towards them, though they were still 2 or 3 feet away, to ask for pets and the kid was just frozen staring. The mother just picked up her kid and walked the other way. I just grinned and we went to look at dog toys. When I went to check out, the cashier told me the lady had complained about my wolf hybrid, and they had to tell her that all dogs who aren't acting aggressively are more than welcome in the store. The lady was ignored and my good girl got 2 treats from the nice worker. Not a very climactic or crazy story. But I was amused that some crazy lady thought a dog shouldn't be in a pet store. Comment by a deleted user. "Oh my god, it's like she's wearing a Batman mask, I love it." Comment by Pleasant View Peasant. "Yeah, I'm against pets in stores generally but it's a pet store. Well-behaved pets kinda belong there." Comment by Lord of Dememe Ed. "I hope she gets a lot of hugs. Kisses. Pets." Our next story is from Road Ode Load. "You can't work here if you're pregnant. I'm a cocktail waitress. I'm 7 months pregnant. No. Obviously I don't drink while pregnant. Or drink on the job ever." This is kind of a crossover between this sub and r/Bad Women's Anatomy. A woman, the Karen, comes in with what I'm assuming was her husband and son and daughter and asks to be seated for lunch. We're not really a restaurant. But we do have a small apps menu with sandwiches and wings and stuff. I give them menus and Karen says, "But wait, do you work here?" "Yep. But you're pregnant. You can't work here if you're pregnant." "I work here. I don't drink here," I say, with a laugh, trying to keep the mood light. The woman looks me over and says, "Have you taken any prenatal courses? Do you really think that's responsible to have your unborn baby in here?" This is where I made an error. I get defensive about anyone asserting I'm a bad mother. Obviously. So I said, "Well, you've brought your kids in here." "Yes. And what kind of example do you think you're setting for them?" I'm still collecting my thoughts at this point when they grunt and wave me away. I figure I can kiss my tip goodbye, but hopefully that'll be the end of a discussion. Disclaimer. All quotes are best approximation of my memory in the moment. I see them flagging down the bartender after a few minutes and figure they're ready, so go over. Karen asks to speak to a manager. Now, they haven't even gotten drinks yet. So nothing above my abilities could really be wrong yet. I just ask if there's anything I can help them with. And her husband, Mr. Karen, says really sternly, "No. Just a manager. Didn't you hear my wife? The place is too small for a manager. It's just servers and bartenders and 2 co-owners. The one who's working is in the back on a phone call and will be pissed if I go and bother her. I realize they're probably still uncomfortable with my being pregnant, so say, maybe, Ella. The only other server can help? But Karen just gets up to physically look for the manager. I admit defeat and go back to drag her off her call. The owner tried not to let on how mad she is about being disrupted and goes over and with a big smile to ask if there's anything she can help them with. Karen informs her. As though it's urgent breaking news. Your server is pregnant. Owner says she's aware and asks if they'd prefer a different server. Karen. No no no. She can't be a drink girl if she's pregnant. That's child abuse. Owner. I assure you. None of our employees drink on the clock. Especially not our pregnant ones. If you'd prefer I can have Ella serve you. Mr. Karen. I don't want my kids seeing this. Owner. Maybe I'm missing something. Seeing what? Exactly? Mr. Karen, talking really slowly and condescendingly, a pregnant woman around all this alcohol. Me. I don't know what you're insinuating, but I would never drink during pregnancy. Karen. Look honey. Didn't you take a health class in junior high? With a drink right under you half the time. Alcohol vapor is absorbed into your blood through the air and then that blood goes to the fetus and poisons it. Owner and I exchange a look and realize we won't get anywhere with her. Owner. So we can have Ella serve you, or I'm afraid there's not much else we can do. Mr. Karen. We're not leaving until she's placed on maternity leave. Or better yet, fired. Owner. We can't help you. Mr. Karen. I'll call the police. You're an accomplice to child abuse. Owner. There is no child abuse to speak of, sir. Please leave. Karen, getting crocodile teary. You may not think a fetus is a child, but I was taught to believe life begins at conception, and I will stand up for all living things, big and small, because that is what my Lord and Savior wants me to do. The entire time she's delivering this tearful speech, she's looking around expecting others to, I don't know, join in with her? Applaud? Owner. You're disturbing my customers, and if you don't leave you're trespassing and I'll have to escalate this. Which I really don't want to do. Karen. Jesus is love and Jesus said this is not okay. Just because you think it's okay to abuse a child if it's small enough. This is an Irish pub and the owners are devout Catholics. She wasn't having any of this. Owner. Hey. I don't need anyone to tell me what Jesus said. If there were abuse here I'd have acted to stop it, but there isn't any. I need you to please leave. Mr. Karen. I'm calling the police. Owner. You do that. We just stop trying to service their table. As we all wait for the cops to arrive. Karen keeps trying to give her sermon. But there was a game on that people had come to watch, and eventually everyone yelled at her until she piped down. Enter awesome officers. AO1 and AO2. AO1. Yeah. Police. We received a call. Is there a Mr. Karen in here somewhere? Mr. Karen. Right here, officers. AO1. You said you were witnessing child abuse. Are the parties involved still in the bar? They point me out. I pretend not to notice because I'm worried the officers will take them outside and I won't be able to watch any more fireworks. AO2. So what exactly was going on? Karen. That woman was drinking. She's pregnant. You can plainly see she's very pregnant. Before I can go over and tell them she's lying about my drinking. The officers look at each other and look back at the Karen family. AO2. That's not illegal. Karen. What? Question mark. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, question mark. Exclamation mark. Mr. Karen. Look here, AO1. It's definitely not recommended. But it isn't illegal. Now do you know the woman? Is she a friend of yours? Family? Karen. She works here. In a bar. And she's pregnant. Mr. Karen. I want to see this place's liquor license revoked. AO2. So. Listen. She isn't doing anything illegal. What I can do is I will talk to her. But we can't take any action beyond that. Is there anything else you observed that you'd like to report? So the second officer comes over to me and takes me to a quiet spot while the first is getting their personal information and taking the rest of the statement. Karen is crying again, and I assume bemoaning being the last bastion of good Christian morality in this bar. Awesome Officer 2 introduces himself and congratulates me on the pregnancy and says I probably overheard why they were called and starts to offer me some public resources for new mothers. Parenting classes etc. I didn't want to interrupt him. So was waiting for the right moment to interject with my plea of innocence. That's is when patrons come over thinking I'm in trouble and start defending me. We have plenty of regulars who know me and they would not let this BS stand. Some even complained to the officers that the owner had asked the Karen party to leave and they'd continued to make a scene. So both awesome officers go talk to the owner, who said she was just about to call them herself on account of the trespassing. But sirens outside are bad for business and she was hoping the Karens would eventually leave on their own. The officers tell the Karen party they need to leave. Mr. Karen. This is a public place, I have every right to be here if I want. AO1. No sir. This is a private business. And the business owners have asked you to leave. It sounds like more than once. But at least once since we've been here. Karen. This is a disgrace. This is an affront to scripture. And child safety and AO2. I understand you're upset. Let's talk about it outside. He places a hand on Mr. Karen and gives him a firm look. This next part was said as Mr. Karen walks out backwards so he can keep yelling at us. But bumping into things every step of the way. Mr. Karen. I'll be contacting the authorities about your liquor license. Bump, I happen to be close personal friends with the mayor. Crash, and you too. I want badge numbers. Don't think we're done here because we haven't even bang started. So the officers took them out and, as it was told to me by a regular who left around the same time, walked the Karens to their car, which was illegally parked in a handicap space, for which they were ticketed. They did make a complaint to the liquor authority, claiming, among many things, that we served minors. We can't prove it was them. But we're sure it was them. We were investigated. But obviously came up fine. My boss asked me to hold off sharing this story with anyone until the matter was settled. But now it is. So had to share. Still laughing about it. Thanks for the gold. And the other gold. And the silver. And the other golds. And the other silvers. Comment by a deleted user. Love how effortlessly she turned it into a pro-life rant. A truly top-tier Karen. Comment by Zooming Zebra. Ducking. Dumb Karen. You can't work here because you're pregnant. Comment by Bowman BR. I'm confused as to how she thought that alcohol from the air entering your bloodstream could go through the umbilical cord and harm your unborn child, but not her children that lacked the protection of being inside another human being. If you're going to believe nonsensical crap, at least be consistent. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, smash the like button, and subscribe to our Devil. See you in the next one.